r/AskReddit. What is the quickest way you've seen a friend duck up their life? Not a close friend, but a guy I used to work with. He was driving around drunk during the day. He ran a red light and T-boned a van with a family in it. A toddler was in the car, not in a car seat, and she died. He was convicted of vehicular manslaughter and, as far as I know, is still in prison. Parents should also be charged with manslaughter negligence for not putting the kid in a car seat. Edit. No one said equal punishment. Just saying they should also be charged for their involvement. Even if that means basically a slap on the wrist at this point. Not manslaughter, but something like criminal negligence.
Claim your free AirPods today by clicking the first link in the description down below.
Betting PS12k on a soccer match. I told him not to. He said he didn't. Then he cried at full time saying that he bet his savings on this match. Who even has the balls to do that? Edit. Hi guys. Sorry for the delay in replies. It was bedtime when I posted this. The game was Europa League finals. Liverpool v Sevilla. I believe the score ended 3-1 Sevilla after Liverpool smashing every other team in the tournament. Score could be a tad wrong. Haven't double checked it as I'm on phone. Liverpool defo lost. My friend never bets and that's why we were so shocked when he showed us what he did. Imagine all of the stuff he cold bought me for PS12k instead. Thanks for your interest. I'll try to reply to y'all. Tom. Who even has the balls to do that? Someone with a gambling addiction. Yep. A dude I work with admits to being at least a $20k in the hole. But he still plays poker machines so he can win it all back. Illogical, and he simply does not understand how probability works. Sad. He decided that helmets no longer was cool enough to warrant use. For the last 15 years he has been in an assisted living home after sustaining brain damage from cracking his skull open on the pavement. Motorcycle or bicycle? Unicycle. Believe it or not, Disney. Coworker with no adult life experience became obsessed with everything Disney. She maximumed out all credit cards on merchandise and trips to the parks. When she exhausted all of her credit, she used her mother and her brother CC's. Now she's stuck at 33. Living in a relative's basement, for free, and spending virtually every dollar on multiple Disney trips and cruises per year. Her credit rating is shot, and she's hundreds of thousands in debt. Question mark 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 question mark. I truly wish I was kidding. She's lost everything and recently announced at work that she no longer wants children. Obviously this is because kids would interfere with her ability to do more and more Disney stuff. It's like someone who finds Jesus and becomes a different person. Not taking bipolar meds. Happened to a family member. Decided one day he was fine and didn't need them. Within a month he had warrants out for his arrest and a lot of legal issues. Yeah. That'll happen. I'm never stopping my meds. Remember kids, if you feel better, it's because of the meds. Don't stop taking them once you start to feel alright. Knew a kid who was hanging out with his friends in his dad's study. He pulled out his dad's handgun from a hiding spot and was playing around pointing it at things and acting cool. His friends told him to knock it off and quit being stupid. To show them that he knew what he was doing and it was safe, he took out the magazine, put the gun to the roof of his mouth, and pulled the trigger, only he forgot to empty the chamber and blew the back of his head off in front of his friends. The saddest part of all of it was watching the aftermath as his friends, who watched it happen, and his family, who blamed his father, destroyed themselves trying to cope with what his stupidity brought about. Christ. Rule number 1 with guns: even if it's unloaded, it's still loaded. Alternatively, don't point a gun at something you don't intend to destroy. A guy I knew in college was dragging his feet about breaking up with a girl. He went over to her house to finally end their toxic relationship, but ended up sleeping with her again instead. And, naturally, she got pregnant. Ah yes. The anchor baby. It's a tale as old as time. So is. He went over to her house to finally end their toxic relationship, but ended up sleeping with her again instead. My friend has been addicted to Reddit for 5 months now, and haven't spoken since. The real silent killer. No. You are the silent killer, Toby. If I had a gun with 2 bullets, and I was in a room with Hitler, Bin Laden, and Toby, I would shoot Toby twice. Heroin. Went from a pretty smart kid to dead in less than a year. Edit 2:37 AM est. I really underestimated how common of an issue this was. I mean, I get that it is common, but my inbox got nuked with responses and PMs from people. I'm both glad that this is getting actual attention from people and sad that this is common to the point that this many people can relate to this outcome. Edit 5:44 AM est. Redditors. You guys have seen and experienced a lot of hell either in your personal lives or through your friends suffering because of this drug. Take care of yourselves and seek help if you need it. Don't feel like you are struggling alone. There are a lot of people who have been changed by this, and I'm sure we can help each other out in life. I'm sorry for your loss. My sibling is a former heroin addict. A friend of the family just accidentally overdosed over the weekend. My uncle that I never got to meet, but apparently would have adored, we are identical in personality, overdosed at 19. It scares me when I meet people in life who think they are invincible to the saddest things. No one is immune to becoming a statistic. We forget to humanize addicts sometimes. An addict is still a person. The addiction doesn't make the person. There is no way to explain the sadness I felt reading your stories and knowing how many people you love that addiction has broken. Thank you so much for sharing yourselves and your compassion with me. Feel free to PM me about this subject or anything. Thanks again. Whenever people tell me that I'm exactly like X, I typically learn within 5-10 minutes that X committed suicide. Thanks guys. D. Edit. Oh cool. This is my top comment now. I'm just overwhelmed with joy. Friend had a kid early on, but it seemed to be going okay. Boyfriend was a loser. She dumped him, then starts dating a meth head. She has 2 kids with the meth head. He's tried to kill her, and she dropped the charges and still sees him. CPS is probably going to take away her kids. Honestly, I wouldn't trust her judgment with the kids. Hopefully, they have family that isn't flushing their lives down the drain. Yeah. The meth guy called CPS on her before because he's a paranoid psychopath, and they told her she needed a restraining order. I don't know whether or not she got one, but since they're living together it's just a matter of time before CPS gets involved again. The extended family plans on pursuing it despite being out of state. It's just a big mess. 20-year-old girl living with her parents, making $12 an hour 30 hours a week, going to community college, used parents' car to get around. What she did? Decided to move into a trailer park to be able to live with her boyfriend, who doesn't work or go to school. Quit her job because the commute would have been too far. Had to quit school for financial reasons. Lost her car because her parents shared that car. So now she borrows money from parents to pay for bills. Has no car, no job, no school. She's been out of her parents' place for 2 months and hates life. Everyone except the boyfriend's parents told her this was a bad idea and the reasons why it was a bad idea. She is facing reality now. I'm sorry, but how the duck can you be this dumb? At least she's young enough that this is definitely something she can turn around if she so chooses. He killed his bully in middle school. He was always taunted insulted, assaulted both physically and mentally, mugged on a daily basis, and nearly had his neck broken. The school wouldn't do hit to the degenerates. The school wasn't in a bad part of town, but it had some really hitty pricks. One day the peen measuring king decides that day would be the day he would try and ruin my friend's day for good by trying to break his knees with a bat. As my friend goes up to bat, he gets ready to hit ball. The pitcher, not affiliated with the group of thugs, throws it too far in and forces my friend to duck, which saved his head from both the ball and the bat the guy swung from behind. My friend noticed this, turns around and pulls an MLB swing that connected with the guy's skull, completely shattering it. He dropped dead where he stood. Suddenly the coaches tackle my friend to the ground and called the police. My friend was arrested and charged for murder. To this day I don't know if he's alive or dead, but all I know is that if the joke of a school system would have done something, that he wouldn't have had to stand up for himself. It's complete bullshit that the very people who preach about how they support anti-bully measures are the same who stands by and do nothing until something tragic happens. Gary was a nice guy who would help anyone in need. Hell, this guy even helped carry me to the nurse when my own group of thugs blinded me with sand and dirt when they tripped me. Duck the school system and duck the people who act like he's the criminal when he had to deal with 4 years of torture. This kinda hit makes me rage. The good guy ends up ducked because of some asshole. Schools need to become more serious about bullying and violence. I was bullied for 2 years in middle school. I brought it up to one teacher a few times, but nothing was ever done. About 6 years later, at 18, he is now in prison for 10 years because armed robbery. Lol. Had a friend who bought an expensive Mercedes. It was kind of a life dream he had for many years. It took all his savings and also his life insurance to get there, plus a decent credit. When pulling off the dealer's place, he totally wrecked it on the first turn. Paperwork with insurance was still in progress, so they denied paying. He now drives a used old car and is paying off a credit for a car he drove less than a minute. Edit, to all the people that say it's not possible to get a car without insurance in place. There are two parts of car insurance in Germany. One is mandatory, Haftpflicht, and covers any damage that a driver does to others. You must have this one to legally buy/register a car. For new cars, you very quickly get a temporary card from your insurance company that tells dealers in the DMV that the insurance is there. The other one, Wahlkasko/Steel Casco, is optional and partly covers damage you do to your own vehicle. You don't need this, but then you will have to pay on your own. In said case, the insurance company obviously did pay for the damages he did to others, a fair pole and a residence wall he ran into. But due to ducked up paperwork, I don't know any details here, they did not pay for the car. Edit 2, and yes, it's a bad move by the insurance company to deny payment. But if I were the responsible agent and heard this stupid story, I would probably do the same. Is this in the US? Usually insurance covers new cars for the first 30 days. Germany, I don't know the details about how insurance handles this here, but I was told that there was some back and forth with the insurance company. Lawyers were involved, but they found some way out at the end. The told friend isn't the brightest in general, and we are not in contact anymore. Most likely he ducked up the paperwork. 2. He had a bad temper. He quit a really good commission sales job because they weren't going to give out more vacation time. He then took a $7.50 an hour job at a pizza place. He ended up losing his house. He had a bad temper. Sales. Sounds about right. My friend didn't like his foster home, so he ran away to a creek a lot of hobos and druggies live at. He was only about 17 or 18, but last time I saw him, he lost about 30 pounds and was a complete meth head. That ducking sucks. Bashly same thing happened to my first boyfriend. When they found him, his uncle forced him onto a reality TV show similar to the Scared Straight show. Haven't heard from him since then. I think he got sent to a juvie school. He used to do joints laced with crack from what I've heard from my other friend. He lived across from a crack/trap house and got heavily involved with them. I'm not gonna spend my time forcing anyone to believe me. It happens. Some people go down wrong paths and do crazy stuff. It's sad and unfortunate. As a former drug user, I don't know if anyone is wealthy enough to put crack in a joint. Maybe a bong. In high school we went streaking, and one of my friends happened to be 18. We got caught by the police and now he is on the ex-offenders list. That was 6 years ago. Edit, not the policy but the police. What ducks me up about this is that streaking isn't particularly acceptable. It's just an act of rebellion with a comedic twist. It's as if your friend had been put on the no-fly list because he'd put a firecracker in a school toilet. Sure, there should be consequences for doing stupid shit, but those consequences should be proportionate and relevant. Even worse is getting put on the list for public urination. That makes no sense at all.